Joining us now is the author of The Plot to Change America, How Identity Politics is Dividing the Land of the Free, Senior Fellow at the Heritage Foundation, Mike Gonzalez.
Thank you, Buck, for having me. Very happy to be on with you.
Tell us, what was the purpose of the 1776 report of which you were a part?
Just to make sure that American students have access to the founding documents, to primary sources, to the Declaration, the Constitution, the Federalist Papers, the Northwest Ordinance, the speeches, the sermons that were made at the time. It was, as Charles Kessler, one of the commissioners, said, a rebaptism in the Declaration and the Constitution. Obviously, I am of the opinion, and so were all the other commissioners, that there's a need for a counterbalance to what is being done by the 1619 Project. But the 1619 Project is not alone, obviously. We have Howard Zinn's A People's History of the United States. There's a whole Revisionism, Inc. that has been trying to change what they think is the narrative of the United States. They don't look at history as including real things that happened, just these facts, not nonpartisan facts. They look at it as a narrative of the oppressor class, that it needs to be replaced with a counter narrative. In fact, the 1619 Project itself says it tries to reframe American history.
The 1776 report came under fire immediately from the left, Mike. There was a CNN headline that read, Trump administration issues racist school curriculum report on MLK Day. How would you respond to that?
Well, it gets many things wrong. I actually wrote about that headline. You know, Buck, you know this about me. I was a journalist for 20 years covering wars and all over the world. I'm ashamed, but that report, that CNN report, first of all, we did not offer a curriculum. It could turn into a curriculum. It was a report, which we sent to the White House, and it was not racist. And there was nothing in the body of the CNN story that even bothered to show a scintilla of evidence that we were racist, or there was anything racist in the report. And in fact, all the criticism has been so clutching at straws. Obviously, we struck a nerve because the commission was revoked on Biden's first day in office. I think the first thing he did was sign that executive order, but also with the journalists and all the academics, it has struck such a nerve. But nobody has been able to point out a single inaccuracy, unlike with the 1619 Project, and of course with that work of fiction by that fabulous Howard Zinn, which is all made up.
Now, what does revoking the commission, I mean, the report is out. I've seen the report. People can see it as well. It's out there. What is revoking the commission doing? Why would Biden get to this on day one?
Well, revoking is the term that he used in the executive order. I'm sure he didn't write it himself. I guess what he did was rescind the charge of the commission.
Right, but what does that mean?
It means that we're no longer existent. We no longer advise the White House. However, we remain, to our mind, we remain a commission. We have a 2-year remit. We're going to continue to meet. What he did also was removed our report from the White House website. It is now, I believe, in the National Archives, but it is also at the Heritage Foundation, heritage.org. It is at Hillsdale. It's very accessible. You should know this, by the way, not to get off target, but the revoking of the commission came in an executive order that did many bad things. It really puts a disparate impact on steroids and does a lot of other bad things. And I'm writing about this executive order, which is very, very bad at this time.
What are the parts of the 1776 commission that do bother the left so much? Because clearly for this to be something we saw it, that Joe Biden in his first day in office revoked this. Why did this, for lack of a better word, why did this trigger them so much? You're talking about the Constitution, the history. What are the parts of this that anger them?
Well, I've been delighting myself reading the criticism over the last week. And the most recent one I read was from a professor at Wesleyan on the CNBC website. And two of the criticisms struck me as completely odd. It said that we made a mistake by declaring that America was exceptional, and also by discussing slavery not as a national American issue only, but as a global issue. Well, obviously, we are exceptional in that we're the only country in the world that derives its legitimacy from the recognition of natural rights and by stating that the government exists to protect these natural rights. No other government, you can go to the UN nation roll all the way from Albania to Zimbabwe, no other country bases itself and its institutions on natural rights. So we're exceptional in that sense. In the case of slavery being a global issue, that is something that the left tried. The left has a project here. It wants to denigrate America in order to change America. But slavery, the founders are writing this in the middle of a world where slavery festered in many places. In the country where I was born, Cuba, slavery started in 1511, and it lasted all the way to 1888, much later than in America. My paternal grandfather was born in Havana, while slavery existed. Apparently, to some professors, we're not allowed to say that. We have to pretend the falsehood that America invented slavery and that capitalism stems from slavery. None of which is true.
Mike, appreciate the work you're doing on this. Thanks so much, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for watching the Heritage Foundation's YouTube channel. With more than 500,000 members, we are the nation's largest conservative research and education institution. We believe the principles and ideas of the American founding are worth conserving and renewing. Please help us further our mission by subscribing to this channel and sharing our videos with your family and friends.